So personally, I've done some work in the science world and I've done some work in the technology world, and I'm deciding to move more toward business and technology at this point, at least in terms of thinking about it. I think they're similar worlds in terms of you're developing stuff to solve problems, but the way that credit gets assigned and the way that money gets assigned to people is a lot different, right? Usually in science, you're trying to get a grant to pay for the research that you want to do. Whereas with the business, initially you get grants, but once your business is off the ground, or it might be investments, but once it's off the ground and running, it's self-sustaining. And to me, that's more powerful ultimately. And that's why I'm switching gears more into the business and technology development side. But I also feel like a big part of improving your life, it's not about what you're coming up with in terms of ideas so much as what you're owning, right? I mean, if you own a really good idea, and a lot of times that means owning a share in a business that's pursuing a really good business idea. If you own a really good idea, then you're in a position to actually profit from that good idea. If you don't own an idea, even if you came up with it, it really doesn't matter. I mean, you're not necessarily going to profit from it. And you hear a lot of stories about, people will say, this person stole my idea and built a business or whatever. But the fact is, that's just kind of how the world works. You can't, there's a little bit of protection with patents and things, but in reality, ideas float around, right? If you're the first one to patent it, then great. If patents work in your field, and in some fields they work better in others, they work in some fields better than they do in others, right? They work, like in molecular chemistry, they work better than in software. They're easier to enforce and things like that, but they might protect you. But again, the person who originally came up with the idea might not even be the one who files the patent first, so that doesn't even necessarily matter. But what's important is who owns that, right? That's the one who's actually going to be making the money. So you really want to think about how can you have ownership of good ideas.